Hi friends, welcome back. I hope you had a great weekend. This week you are going to be finishing up your Scamper by turning your answers to the 7 questions about the Anaconda ride into some sort of visual product. Now I'm not giving you a ton of rules, I guess, because I want you to really be creative with this. I loved reading your answers last week. You guys did a really good job of coming up with some creative ways to change the roller coaster. Um, we're going to talk about some of those changes to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page. But when you read the article about the Anaconda, there were a couple of things that I wanted to make sure you took note of. Um, let's see. Where's the one? Okay, so you know it's a towering wooden coaster, purple and blue, which she mentioned was funny for a snake theme, so that might have been something that you chose to finish. Um, you can see the ride, count 5 cars with 2 seats each, so no wonder there's long lines, right? Maybe that's something else that you could change. There are 2 new features, so you may decide there's some way that you want to incorporate that and keep it, or you might not. A glass elevator where they took out the stairs, so they kind of get they don't have they're changing how they get the anticipation of climbing the start of the ride. They don't have to walk all the way to the top, which I thought was pretty interesting. They were walking 150 feet anyway, starting up at the platform with an immediate drop and then going into the first hill. And I think a lot of you guys noticed how the first hill was 125 feet and goes down into a twist, and then the second hill was 175 feet. And if you remembered us talking about Newton's laws and maybe using some of your background knowledge, the first hill in a roller coaster has to be the highest. You can't ever get higher than that. So hopefully your roller coaster, it really would only work if you change the first hill to be higher, however you want that to look like. So it talks about the twists and the turns, but it's saying that the cars can't ever get around it. So there's a few different things that really need to be changed. So make sure that you've included that in your Scamper. If not, you can go back and kind of adjust everything. But you're going to look at your answers for materials that you can change, all of these different things, whatever you wrote for your answers. Now you're going to take it and turn it into a big presentation. So looking back at the directions, yes, you're going into Google Classrooms. You are not technically finished with the assignment, so you didn't need to turn it in yet on Google Classrooms. What you'll do is when you are finished with it, with your visual presentation, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that, so talk about some different ideas, but when you are finished, you'll share it in this PowerPoint because there's a slide here where it says share your presentation. So if you decided to do it on paper, you know, draw it on paper or use any sort of materials that you have at your house. You could actually make it 3D at your house if you wanted to. Then you would take a picture of it and drop the picture in right here. Save it to your computer and copy and paste it right there. If you decided to do it, if you want to try to do it online, you can use some digital 3D modeling tools. So there's something called Tinkercad that one word. And you can create like visual models. So there's all these different things. Now, I will tell you, that will take you longer, but it's a really cool skill to learn how to do. So you could actually create your roller coaster in something like this. Google SketchUp is another choice. And there's paid versions and there's free versions. Obviously, you'd want to talk to your parents. Google SketchUp, people seem to use that more for like buildings and stuff, but I really do think both would work. But I will tell you, I am not an expert on either one of those. So it would be difficult for me to help you remotely. Like if you try to do one of those and you run into problems, I'm really not going to be able to help you. But I think, I mean, all of you guys would be completely fine troubleshooting and problem solving and that kind of thing. And you may actually have an older brother or sister or a mom or a dad that is familiar with that kind of thing, especially if you have a parent that's like involved in computer stuff. So it's possible that they could help you. So however you decide to do it, you're going to share it right here, whether it's a link to a digital thing. If you do a 3D model, you can do a screenshot of the picture using the snipping tool if you have a PC. So here are some examples of picture versions. And so what I love about this one is that it actually, so it has all of the Scamper changes over here, and then they're labeled. So you can see this is what they where they substituted. This is where they combine two things together. And so it really is clear showing what all those different changes are. And then here's kind of a different take on it. I love how they changed it to like an actual snake. Look at the head and the tail. That's so cool. But they still, I know it's not, I know you can't actually read it, but you get the gist of what it's saying. So it's explaining where the changes are. So obviously whatever this is talking about is happening right here. You can also see the rubric, so how you get full credit. Basically, you get a check for each letter that meets these requirements. And so make sure that you're actually, did you include all of the letters? Did you include a visually appealing product? So the things for all of the SCA Scamper letters, that part you've already done. So now you're working on your visual product. But you can actually get extra points if you had additional visual elements. Maybe you had a key, maybe it was color coded. If you choose to do it online, you would absolutely get extra points. And did your descriptions offer insightful details? So when you're finished with your product, you've turned it or you've put it onto this page right here, you're going to go into the assignment in Google Classrooms and press turn in. So really cannot wait to see what you guys do. I think it's going to be absolutely fabulous.